yes, man. Oh, man. Terrific Tuesday. Greetings to you. Terrific Tuesday indeed. Another little thing here on the J Frost 5 feed. And got a special guest today. I'm bringing in, it's going to actually be my first guest, pretty much out of the music scene, but kind of in it and doing a lot of things. Make some noise from my good friend, Brandon Snell in the house today. Brandon, yeah, showing up today. How you doing, Brandon?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, buddy.
It is a cool little setup you have here.
Doing
I like
good.
it.
Thank you, man.
It's fun.
And
It's a lot of energy.
a lot of energy. Yeah, get into that mic a little bit, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to coach it up. Make sure it's right. Make sure we can hear you. I'll turn you up here a little bit.
Okay.
There you go. Now I can hear you.
People tell me I have a radio voice.
You do? They tell me I have a face for radio. So that's how it goes. So, we're going to get to it. I want to give you a little interview here and introduce everybody that might know me, that may not know you, and how we got through life in the last, 5 years together. So,
5 years.
5 years. But, yeah, let's start with it, man. Hey, what's your birthday? What day were you born?
March 6th.
March 6th. So that means you're a Pisces, right?
Yeah, Pisces.
Yeah, freaking the sheiks. I get it. Yeah, I understand.
That's what they tell me.
Where were you born at? I just say, where's you born? You were not from Ohio, right?
I was born in Washington State. I grew up in Idaho.
You grew up in Idaho.
Yep.
Right. That's where you find all the, in a cornfield, is that where you found the punk rock in your life?
I don't think they have cornfields in Idaho.
Okay, potato.
Wheat.
Okay.
Soybeans.
Okay.
I think there's potatoes, but it's down in the Mormon country. It's a long state. It's like really long.
Yeah.
So it's a.
I was thinking Iowa. I think with what I was thinking corn. I don't know, man. I just you could tell I've never been out there, so it's good. So how'd you get to Dayton, Ohio?
By the way, I brought you a present.
Oh no, hold on. We'll get to that in a second. Okay.
No, my mom was living in Cincinnati, and I just wanted to check out somewhere else. And I moved to Dayton. I was around the age where you start going to school, like college, and
Right.
started going to school in Dayton, and nothing's not a great story. Just
Well, that's not
yeah.
Everyone's my beginning and my story, like where I was born and what I did's not the greatest story, but just to get it to like you get to Dayton, Ohio, then you start. How old were you when you got here and went to college? You were pretty
I was
much
like 20.
right. So you're pretty much just working in the service industry, right? And going to college, and then found wine and alcohol. How did you get to where you are now is my point. Like, how did you get to where you have a business called Soroka Imports?
Oh. Whew. Yeah, I kind of always had the idea in my head that I wanted to do something like this. I just didn't really know what it was, and it was just I didn't know that was even a possibility. I think I was in Eastern Europe drinking the wine, and someone told me that Eastern Europe, where I was at, was famous for wine. I had no idea, and I thought, okay, there you go. That's my idea.
So this was before we met. Because the wine tastings is where we met. Right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so
that was
this is before. So you were just like on vacation and out there and being Brandon and being social, and this dude walks up and goes, Pavon, yeah, you need to get into my wine. Like, how'd it go?
Were you there? How did you know that?
I don't know. Was he French?
No, I was actually in the Republic of Moldova. So I started Soroka as a city in Moldova. So I started importing wines from Moldova. That's how we started.
I'll say that again and get closer to the mic.
I was in the Republic of Moldova. Soroka is the name of a city in Moldova. We named it after. It's like a castle. I say castle. They would shrug and say fortress at best. But
So
yeah.
it turns out you're hanging out there. You're drinking wine.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy,
Person I was with.
Yeah, the person was like, we could do this and take the wine and take it to America. And the crazy thing about Moldova, isn't there a story where there's just a whole damn wine cellar underneath the city?
There's the largest underground wine cellar in the world is in Moldova.
Wow.
Yeah, well, Krikova, that's a wine you like. That's the second largest underground wine cellar in the world.
This is my favorite thing that Brandon ever introduced me to, and this is a champagne, right? This is not wine, right?
Sparkling wine.
It's sparkling wine.
Yeah. It's not champagne. It's Charmat method, more like a Prosecco, but it's from Moldova. It's made with Moldovan grape called Fetiasca Alb. And
Krakova.
Krakova Prosecco has like some Muscat in there too.
Right. Now, the thing with this is you have to understand is we'll let you know how to get a hold of Brandon and all these different products, of course. But like Cracova, wow, it's it's like Moet. How do you say that? In the songs they call it Moet, but what's the proper way to say it?
Moet.
Okay, Moet. I did it right. Okay, but it's like it's better than that. It's delicious. And so Brandon, even besides that product, when you're in Moldova, like, where did you how did it go from there? You come back here and you're like, well, I'm going to start this, pretty much importing wine and giving products specifically to the Miami Valley here in Dayton, where.
No, honestly, all my life I wanted to have my own business, and I just wanted to do something that I didn't really know what it was, and a lot of people weren't doing it. Something I kind of was able to invent on my own. And
the unknown.
Yeah, and even through grad school and everything, I just was always looking for this idea. I mean, I was just in school, not studying anything in particular, just trying to get through school till I figured it out. And yeah, being in Moldova, I mean, it's kind of Soroka is sort of like an extension of my personality. I mean, it's just weird, unusual stuff from things from all over the world. I mean, wine and beer from 21 different countries, and real native grapes, a lot of unusual styles. And yeah, so I was in Moldova drinking the wine, and turns out it's a real prolific wine region, but it's Eastern Europe, and it was part of the Soviet Empire, and it wasn't like the best quality wine necessarily. I mean, it's a poor country, very poor country. And so, yeah, more or less, I'm just kind of having fun partying over there.
You found the best out of it, and you've done a good thing of.
Yeah. Well, I came back to the States, and I was like, oh, let's go get some Moldovan wine.
I think I've had one thing that I didn't was like, that's not me that you've had me try.
Yeah.
But it wasn't horrible where I was like, it was everything else was delicious, and even the wine's really fruity to me. Some. Yeah. But I don't know. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I mean they produce a lot of wine out of Moldova. I mean, we're trying to get the ones that we think will do better.
You got from it all. You started doing wine tastings, all right? And then you got with your buddy Nate. You guys started doing some paint and wine events. That's how we met, actually.
Yeah. Nate Fakes.
Yeah, Nate Fakes.
Oh, he's a cartoonist, and he's worked with Mad Magazine, and he was living in Dayton for a while. And we just kind of were doing these gimmicky things, trying to find ways to work without really having to go to work.
Like he was teaching. He was doing a paint class. You'd sit there and paint, and Brandon would do the wine. So they would combine in this. And what was his connection to Garfield? Jim Davis. He had the thing with Jim Davis, didn't he?
Well, so he got.
I thought that was neat. He's in the Cartoonist Hall of Fame. I mean, he's a pretty successful cartoonist. I mean, the Red Bull Has Wings commercials. He's doing some of those, and he was supposed to meet Jim Davis one day, and I think he just wanted to impress Jim Davis, so he took a bunch of his comics of cats and put it together and published a book real fast, and he sent it to Jim Davis, and Jim Davis endorsed the book, but I don't think he showed up to the meeting. But yeah, I mean, that was. We got our little toboggans on today. It's a toboggan day.
Well,
Toboggan Tuesday.
It's cold in Ohio.
It is, but it's not cold in here. But we're repping the toboggans today, yeah. So you and Nate got on your thing with what'd you call it? I forget what it was called.
So when we first started, we had a blog, and the blog was called Drawing Around Dayton, and we would go
Drawing Around Dayton. That's
interview
right.
people when they were drunk and do these articles. And
well, you were interviewing people when they were drunk.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's brilliant.
That's usually when they want to talk.
We're not drunk.
Well, I got some brandy for you.
Okay.
So here's the
I want to get to the storyline.
Okay.
I want to keep that. Brandon, just follow my lead.
I'm following your lead.
Okay.
Let me finish the story.
Okay, let's finish the story. That's my lead. Don't start arguing with me now.
So that once we started selling advertising, we realized we couldn't really make any money doing that. So we then we started the paint idea, which we called Painting Around Dayton, which is kind of a play on that.
Yeah, that was it. Painting Around Dayton. That's where
and we did that for a little while.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem is it's just hard to get a following on that one. We were doing a lot of I don't know, cheap things online, and it just by the
it was just hard.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, especially, it was hard to do anything back then. I mean, and then you're doing Painting Around Dayton, and there's a place actually on Miamisburg Centerville Road, and it's a store it's a business that just does that, paint and wine.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Is this still there?
There's a few of them. I mean,
I don't know if they're doing it because of COVID or anything.
I mean, I talked to some girl later on. She said she would go around and go to our events to copy our model and she did it and sold her company. It just was one of those things too, where we were just when we did the math, we were making minimum wage, and it was fun. But Nate ended up moving away anyways to.
Right. Well, shout out Nate Fakes, and he did your artwork on your first wine bottles, right?
We're getting ready to launch some more brands together.
Right.
We're expanding the Naked Penguin line, and we're getting ready to do a Naked Panda.
Naked Panda and Naked Penguin, and it's really specific when you get these products and look at it. And let's give a shout out to your webpage, everything right now, so people can start looking this up. And if they're interested, is there a place they can go online and look at this right now?
We have a website, SorokaImports.com. We do Instagram and Facebook.
All right.
Soroka Imports.
Spell it out for them and all that stuff.
SOROCA.
There you go.
That was in my radio voice.
Yeah, that sounded like a horror movie
That was
voice.
very sexy.
Were you?
Just now.
Just now? I don't know. I think it's creepy. Like, it sounded like something out of an insane horror movie from someone born in Idaho. I don't know.
Yeah, I was born in Washington.
Washington.
Yeah, I grew up in Idaho.
My favorite movie was in Washington, Vision Quest.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a big state.
Yeah.
I'm going to Idaho. I'm flying out Wednesday. I haven't been there
So
in a while.
it's SorokaImports.com. Get on there and see there. Just look up Soroka Imports. You can see all the social media. Just go to your search bar, SorokaImports.com. And check out Brandon's. You got Naked Panda coming, and you've had Naked Penguin for some time. That's your own brands.
Yeah, Sell Another, Naked Penguin, Beethoven's 10th, Poor Mozart.
Wow, you've got 4 now or 5?
Well, we have 4, and we're expanding to.
Didn't you do
making
something?
7.
Okay, and then there's a whole nother story of this where you went with Pat and you guys did your own. Didn't you do a wine with Pat?
From Nowhere in Particular?
Yeah.
So Nowhere in Particular is making wine now, and we started doing their wine, distributing that. But we
Yeah.
haven't done anything besides the Pinot Noir. Because of COVID, it kind of threw a wrench in the thing.
threw a
But
wrench in
there'll be
that,
more
so.
coming out from them. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And you go through that process. You start all these things. You had your own warehouse. It's pretty much written. Now you're building your own warehouse. That's the
I've
deal.
got a new warehouse. I'm just renovating it. But it's downtown Dayton. It's bigger. And we just got done doing, like, in the lobby, staining the floors. I want to make it real nice, like.
So you're going to have a whole warehouse, kind of like you can go and taste and do all that stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And where's that located?
It's McCook Avenue,
Okay.
like kind of northwest downtown.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the main focus there? What's the warehouse called? What are you going to do? I mean, tell us about it. That's why you're here,
It's just
man.
because Soroka Imports. We just need to expand. We're running out of space, and we need to. I mean, I run out of space to keep things. It's such. I spend so much time just putting things away and getting orders ready. So
Right.
it's just a bigger space, and it's going to be a good chance to do more things. I mean, free up my time. I spend a lot of time driving and trying to do events and everything. And I've got 2 reps now, and we kind of need to expand and bring on a Dayton rep. So definitely.
So you're looking for a Dayton rep.
Mm-hmm. Possibly Dayton and Cincinnati.
Dayton and Cincinnati. How many different stores are you distributing everything to and your products to? Do you know how many that you have now?
Oh, altogether, I mean, 300
300.
probably.
Wow. And you started this from scratch 5 years ago.
Yeah, I was really bad at it too. I didn't know what I was doing.
That's just truly inspiring to me. I mean,
I'm not like
I mean, come on.
By
That's,
no
that's
means
what it's all about. That's
you see, like, I'm not even a
Brandon,
wine.
that's really good, man.
Yeah. Well, plus, like, I didn't have any experience working in the wine industry, and I'm not a wine expert, but you do learn as you go. But the other thing too is, if you don't give up, you also have access to things. So the longer you do it, the more producers you meet, the more buyers you find, and just the more opportunities come as you keep going.
I agree. That's that's the truth about anything, really, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's about the effort and just taking it in. And I think the thing about you that I think works, that I love the most about you, is this one quality you have. It's camaraderie. It's not all about you. You work with people. You learn about people. You network with people. Like, you getting involved in other people's projects. At one time, he was J Frost 5's manager. You really were.
I wasn't really good at that.
But he definitely tried. It is just like, I've been to several of your events, and you just have all kinds of people that you reach out to and help and get involved with. It's just not about you, Brandon.
Yeah.
You're very humble on this, and you're super intelligent. Like you say, you're not a wine expert, but I mean, you could tell me everything about wine. everything. I mean, but you could also go to YouTube and find out about it, I think.
Yeah,
so
well, and again, we really try to specialize on unusual things. Like, for example, I got this bottle here. It's actually an orange wine from the Czech Republic. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's a Gewürztraminer. Very flower aromatic, and it's not that easy to get wines from the Czech Republic. So, it took us quite a while to find a source for those.
Yeah.
I mean, so like even when it comes to like knowing things about wine, I mean, sometimes we're so far off the beaten path that just not your typical stuff. And we got a beer license too. So I got a beer license last year. So started bringing in mostly beers from Eastern Europe. Got some Indian beer we brought in, but with the restaurants being down, we brought in Brazilian wines this year. It's really cool.
Wow.
So I think we're probably gonna get a spirits
How
license.
many people are into imports when it comes to alcohol? I mean, they are. I mean, the import beers, up there with domestic. I mean, when I had View, for instance, was when I worked there, and people would order an import, and the next person would order a domestic.
Well, there's a market for anything. Sometimes you have to find that market, and
There you go.
sometimes if you try to get into a market head on, and
Well,
you're
then
small,
craft beer came in.
yeah. So there's a market for imported beer. I think it's not as big as the craft beer market, but we work with a lot of ethnic stores that's their features are their ethnic products.
Well, you also have customers that go into all types of stores that just want something new and change, and they look at something and labels like, I'm going to try this, and they want to find the golden egg or the golden ticket in a bottle, pretty much.
Yeah, branding's really important, and branding is not something that's necessarily like you have to think about it. Sometimes the country, the labels, just placement, and where you can get something to.
All right, so how'd you come up with the naked penguin?
Yeah, the naked penguin. That was actually a picture that Nate had already drawn at some point. This is a funny story. I don't know. It involves Osama bin Laden, so I don't know how funny it is, but. So this is something Nate had actually.
You have a very eclectic sense of humor.
What do you think of that brandy? Did you try it?
No, you've not poured yourself one.
Oh,
Okay,
so we're getting ready to get a spirits license too. So we have all these access to all these.
So what are you pouring here?
So this is a brandy called Kvint. It's from Transnistria, which is North Moldova. So it's a really nice brandy.
It kind of looks like Louis the Fifth there, like the real expensive.
Well, this is expensive for being from Eastern Europe. It would cost about $170 at a liquor store, but it's aged for 25 years. It's pretty smooth, but it needs to warm up a little.
Me. Is this cognac?
Well, brandy.
Cognac?
Yeah, cognac is French brandy. But yeah. So this is Moldovan brandy. This would be
Is this Cavassier?
Yes.
Pass the Cavassier. All right, so cheers, Brandon. You're drinking from. Let's try it. Is it strong?
It's pretty smooth. I mean, it's only strong in terms that it will get you drunk fast.
Oh, it is very smooth.
Yeah. So we're going to get the spirits license and start bringing
And how long was that aged?
25 years.
Wow.
That's good, huh?
Yeah, it's like candy almost. They warm you up, but it's almost like a liquid candy.
Yeah, it's you got to be careful with those. They're very, very easy to drink.
Yeah, especially because the second one won't be as. It gets better as it goes, I guess.
It gets better as it goes.
Yeah, I'll stay away from that for sure. But thank you for that. And you could also find that in Soroka Imports. I'm taking it.
No, we don't have the license yet for that, but
it's coming.
Yeah, we'll bring lots of fun stuff. Again, it's just need to sit down and sign the papers and notarize them and send them to the state.
Yeah, I got you.
So it's just about like growing gradually.
Well, I mean,
a lot of risk involved with bringing a bunch of new products to Ohio.
Because you got to find people to buy them. I mean, that's simple.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
I understand. Yeah. I mean, nothing's cheap in this world anymore, man. Crazy times, but whew, that opened me up right there.
Good morning.
Let's go back to your warehouse. I mean, what's the whole ultimate goal with what you're building there? I mean, is it a place where you could, specifically buy a product, but you're trying to build an atmosphere in a lobby? It sounds like.
Yeah, we're not a storefront because we're a distribution company. But I mean, if you kind of look at Soroka, I mean, you've got to kind of honestly say that it's something that started out as like a hobby company. I mean, I never thought of it as a hobby company, but I guess that's how you would define it. So going from a hobby company, small volume, to an actual full functioning consolidated distribution company. So we need space. We need bigger warehouse space where we can bring in more products. We can bring in larger quantities of things. Just for example, the Naked Penguin. I mean, we bring that in 10,000 bottles at a time. I don't even have a place sometimes to put 10,000 bottles. I put that in another distribution company near Toledo because there was no space. So just having the space, and then make it easier to get orders ready, make it easier to put things away, so you're not having to unload things and stack them and move things around. And then just as far as I work in more than just wine. I do a lot of things, and having that networking space where we can do events. I mean, I want to make it nice,
What type of events are you trying to get into there? What's that going to be about? I mean, is you going to be able to do live music one day, or like an acoustic guitar act or something?
Sure.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, you guys can do shows there.
Do you have that much space?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how much wine we put. I mean, it's like probably, I'll say at least 2,000 square foot warehouse.
I want to do the brandy party. I think that would be fun because people would drink this and want to hear something loud. Specifically when you're drinking something like, I don't know, wine. People don't really get loud when they drink wine. It's kind of like a chill thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's an evolving industry. I mean, it's just like the beer industry. I mean, wine is not,
But you're going to have it all there, so we could pretty much do anything.
I mean, our company is more about like kind of the nerdy aspect of wine versus like the stuffy aspect of wine. I mean, we're not violins and cheese. We're more like, we do a lot of natural wine.
So that's a definition. I mean, what's the difference between nerdy and what you just said? I mean, what's the difference?
How I define it. I just think we're kind of, I mean, I don't really think of myself as a hipster, but I think we're kind of definitely more of like a hipster distributor. Like our brands are more hipster brands.
You're shaking the whole table with your knee.
Oh, sorry. I'm a fidgety person.
I understand. Yeah, you're about to tear the house down here.
Oh man,
yeah.
I can be obnoxious.
Do you think?
I need like 3 or 4 things going on all at once. Like I can't sit still. I'm horrible.
But it's good. You're getting a lot done. So like when it goes back to the warehouse and you fidgeting and doing all this stuff, you're not that horrible. You're getting a lot of good things done. So it's like after the COVID thing and the regulations drop, you're going to have a lot of events and put a lot of people together in the industry to try some new stuff. I mean, the network's grown. It's huge, Brandon, in a way locally. So. I mean, you've really connected a severe amount of different people that are working together here, bro. So
yeah, I think there's a lot going on downtown Dayton.
Don't beat yourself up. You're pretty badass. That's all I'm saying. Okay, keep it real. So yeah. So when do you think the warehouse is going to be done, brother? When do you think you're going to have that done?
I don't know. I could probably the liquor license hasn't transferred yet, so and then we kind of like ran a little short on money right now. So there's a few like last details that we got to put together. But I have I wanted to do an accent wall, so I've got the wall pieces, and I just kind of got to figure that part out. And it's just so cold over there right now. I just have been taking a little downtime. So
I got you. What do you think of my accent wall? You like it back here?
Oh, I love it, man. Yeah. It's just like I really dig the setup. No, so I kind of I saw.
Is this something you're trying to do in a way like something like this, or what's your form of accent you're trying to do at the warehouse? That's pretty cool to talk about.
Yeah, not so urban.
This is urban.
Yeah, this is Urban Wine Hour.
What's that mean? Urban. I think it's like a DJ at TGI Fridays type of feel.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it. I like it a lot.
That's what it's labeled as, but I guess it's urban. So if it's brick, it's urban.
I don't know.
Suburbia white people. It's insane. You can't tell I'm from the city. I got brick behind me.
Yeah, no, it's nice. I like it a lot. I don't know what to say.
I'm just kidding, man. So what do you think at accent-wise in your warehouse?
So I just we had the lobby floor. We did like a like painted the cement, or like what do they call it? Stained the cement, and did like just kind of a mixture of things, and did a metallic marble wrap on that. And then as far as one of the walls, I want to do like a 3D wall, and I've got the 3D pieces already. And then
Okay.
I've just got to like kind of find what color paint, and I've got to put them on there. And
Well, the
yeah.
reason why I was ribbing you about that is because I had an idea. I went to this place down in Louisville that did live music. I was like, phew, I was literally like 5 years ago when you and I first met, you know, and then you would just show up to our shows. Sean and I would be on the road somewhere, and you would just show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be like, hey, I'm here. But there was this place on the ceiling, which my next move is this. I'm trying to get rid of this ceiling and put like stars up there or whatever. So when you watch this, it'll look like the night sky up there, you know, because I kind of got like the city background on this side. So I was doing that. But here was the idea. This ceiling was full of drum cymbals.
Yeah.
They took cymbals that were cracked and weren't layered them over top of each other. So when you looked up, it was just layered cymbals that gave that 3D effect thing. My thing was like if you did some type of thing to where you could just glued a whole bunch of bottles together on a wall, or had some type of look where just some actual bottles were just all, you know, because even, I'm not trying to steal from Red Robin, but they got the lights in the ceiling that are made out of old beer bottles.
Yeah. No, I'm open to anything.
Yeah, but if you took a whole bunch of old bottles and lined them up together and had a way to put them in the wall like that in a wine cellar, that did look really
that
cool to me.
would be cool. That might be something too we can work on over time as to get more empty bottles.
I'm just full of ideas after I take a shot of brandy, I think.
Yeah,
Kind
definitely.
of get your mind going a little bit.
Yeah, you got it.
I'm warm. I'm not cold anymore. I don't know if it's the toboggan or the brandy. So what's the next move there, Brandon? I mean, what's the future hold for you? I know COVID's been a little thing, but has the curfew and these regulations gotten away at all, or has it just been playing by the rules okay? Because it's not really, I mean, stores that you're distributing to didn't get in the curfew thing, but you do have some places of course, in the industry is just affected, period, with the 10 to 4. I mean, it's just like, and I say it 1,000 times, I mean, we're dealing with a decision made by a politician with no scientific evidence that, you know, this stops the spread of COVID. And then more people are just sitting in more groups of people in a house, and they're gathering together in different places and spreading it, I think, rather than actually practicing the social distancing, if that makes sense. But it does give the industry a hit. I think it's a hit on the alcohol industry alone. I think it's a point of attack, like coming after you. I think it's pretty crazy.
The service industry.
Yeah.
I mean, retail sales are up. I mean, we've made more money this year.
People are just ordering it from home, so that would make sense too. Kind of the reason why I brought that up. I mean, but if you're a bar or restaurant, not the case. You know?
Right.
Yeah, but as for you being a distributor, it's been a good year.
Yeah, we just shift our focus, and for a small distributor, it was a good year because a lot of people were laid off, and a lot of other bigger distribution companies weren't real actively trying to push products. So we actually had an easy time this year with retail. But restaurants, I mean, our restaurant sales are pretty much non-existent.
Yeah.
We have some, and it's kind of trying to grow, but you know, that's definitely.
Well, they just got, you know, everything 10 to 2 is when they sell the most, I'd assume. I mean, unless you got a good happy hour, you know. But there you go. I mean, it's just crazy how some people benefit from a regulation and some people completely don't. But I just think there should be no regulation when it comes to curfew. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I don't know. But what's your thoughts on that? You're a smart guy.
Yeah, you know, I don't have a strong opinion on that. I just try to respect everyone.
So you're trying to say, as a distributor of alcohol, you don't have an opinion on the curfew from 10 to 2 in bars and restaurants?
Yeah, I kind of feel like you don't have to have an opinion on everything. You know, when it comes to that kind of stuff, people are just so touchy about it. I'm not in the position where I have to make the decisions, so I just do my thing. And I mean, I want people to be safe. I don't worry so much about myself, but I worry about other people that are more susceptible to.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree with that.
you know, and so like I try to.
Very good answer, Brandon. I'm digging that.
Thank you.
It's the reason why I do that. Just throw it in, and then you get something highly intelligent. Like, you don't have to have an opinion about everything. So I learned that today, but I do have an opinion on that because, you know, I worked a long time in the service industry, and so many people, my friends and family, are affected by it. So I would just like it to make sense. If it had scientific evidence behind it and somebody actually said, hey, this is called, you know, but that's not. It's just somebody's one opinion. So that gets me going a little bit. That's the reason why. That's all. Yeah, so what's the next move? After you get the warehouse done, is just pretty much focus on getting the web page going or social media, or just really kind of getting to live events. How are you going to get Soroka Imports, in your mind, really to grow in the next year? What do you think you need to focus on the most, and what do you want, like, the fan base or anybody here to know what you're trying to do to where they can reach your products? Or, I mean, what's the next thing for you? Because I know you're really a deep thinker and business and marketing. So what's the next move there?
Well, we already have an idea of some new brands we want to launch this year that will be kind of our easier brands. We do want to bring on some more reps, and that's about it. I mean, just more. It's all about marketing and branding and bringing on more brands, and then of course the brands we have that are doing well, continue with those brands. And
can you do tastings with the with the regulations and everything? I mean, is that still possible?
Yeah, it's possible. It's really up to a venue. I mean,
Well, it sounds like you got your own coming, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think by the time we have that set up, I mean, well, here's the thing too. Legally, we can do it. I think most people, if they want to go and be around people and do a tasting, they will go. I mean, it's kind of people's choice whether they want to come to that stuff. I mean, it seems like everybody tries to be somewhat respectful wherever you're at. So everyone's, has a mask at least, hanging from their ear. Nobody's, like throwing their arm over each other's shoulder and like. Not
to laugh at the whole thing, but you got to rethink it and try to be safe regardless of what you're doing.
Yeah.
So who's some people that we could reach out to here in the future the next time we have you on? You're trying to get a hold of somebody today on a Zoom call, like we were thinking about that. Cause
so I had the idea for a while that I thought it'd be kind of fun to start doing live interviews with all the different producers we work with around the world. And I kind of thought maybe we could even use your podcast for that. And like I said, your Urban Wine Hour. So we've got
Urban Wine Hour.
Yeah.
Unreal. Well, I mean, I would love to do that. I mean,
we need like a violin intro. Can you do like a?
Yeah, I could do that. I mean, we can literally do anything. I mean,
yeah.
I built this place when the pandemic hit to be, pretty much a vessel to, to give everyone that I know a lot of radical people in this, specifically in my area in Dayton, Ohio. And I mean, I'm talking about not basic. I mean, these people are entrepreneur, go-getters, start their own business, and they have a lot of different stories. So I just came up with the idea to have people like Brandon here and other people that you're going to see on the stream that I've built this for other people to tell their stories. Just, even for musicians to have live performance, different artists, comedians, everything. But this is why I built it for, Brandon. So I would love to do an Urban Wine Hour.
Yeah,
right here.
I kind of wanted to try it out. I felt like this was sort of a practice launch because I know it's a new thing, but I like it and it's fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it, bud. So
next time we can, when it's not so early in the day and I don't have to be a million places, we can have a lot more to drink and be a lot more inappropriate on the.
Nothing's stopping us now.
I got work to do. I gotta go to Cincinnati.
I got work to do too. But I'm glad we chose work over drinking.
Yeah, first day for everything.
First day for. I've been doing good though. I haven't been drinking nearly as much as I did back in March. Like, man, my birthday to like middle of summer, I was drinking a lot of beer though.
Yeah, a lot of people.
A lot of beer.
Yeah, the COVID.
The COVID stuff got you there, but teach your own. Hey, listen, Brandon, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
And sharing your story with us, and make sure you get the SorokaImports.com. What other social? You're on Instagram. Where else? Facebook.
Facebook, yeah.
Just Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
And that's it for that. And anything else you want to add? Just say goodbye. Say hello to anybody while you're on here, or what to look for.
Well, I want to say hello to everyone.
Right.
And goodbye to everyone.
Goodbye to everyone.
All right.
What do you say, man? Well, I mean, we're just going to do it that simple, man. Brandon, thanks for coming out today, man. I really appreciate your time here. And like I said, go to SorokaImports.com. Look at all these different products and add it to your next party, all right? So it's that time we say goodbye, man. Thanks for joining us on the J Frost 5 feed this morning. We'll see you on the next episode, all right? Going to announce that later today, so stay tuned with us. But stick around. Come back. We'll see you next time on the J Frost 5 feed.